Hi, welcome to the Your Thought Consultancy. Today we are come with another topic that is the functional and the non-functional testing aspects. And we are going to discuss that what are the specific testing types which we can run and do in the functional and the non-functional part when we are doing our project testing. So here is my introduction that I have 15-year experience till now in the software industry. I am working as a consultant as well with different multinational company to serve and provide my services for mentoring their teams and also crafting their strategies for them and establishing their QA team from scratch to the advanced level. So those team will help them to serve and achieve their company goal for their products and their project. So I am also serving as a consultant around the globe for different multinational company where I am going to help them the company in their to achieving their to achieving the quality in their project. So here are some gadgets which can you can using these you can directly reach out to me for any help if you require in the software testing and in the testing field. So I will try to come your answer. Okay, so in the today's topic, as we have discussed earlier, that we are going to discuss about the functional and the non-functional testing. So we have did lot of discussion till now in the our different sessions that what is functional and non-functional part for the project. So in the functional part testing, we are normally focusing on the core requirement of the project and which is directly related to the functionality and you can say the backbone of the project. So objective to achieve the application performance with good quality. So what are the testing different type which we are going to execute in the unit testing, which we need to run in the functional testing that is purely belong from the dev side. So in the unit testing we are doing to test the written code methods classes as a dry run by putting the input value as a dummy value, and the very famous technique which we are using in the unit testing for the projects, that is the stub driver technique, where we can mimic the data for the written code and the methods and the classes and try to dry run and see the output. So then comes to the integration testing. Integration has their own different types like the bottom up and bottom down and top to bottom and bottom to top, and then the bang bang technique is a very famous technique as well. So in this initially we have tested the module as an individual, and then we will merge those modules and see the user journey in our testing from yes, let's suppose if we have a theme module like the login and the dashboard and then the user management section. As a unit testing we have to test all three modules independently first from the code prospect, and the manual team has written the test cases and provided to the dev team, so they can use those test cases to do their unit test and try it, and at the end of the testing they can share, and they have to share if you really want to get the result. So they have to share the unit test report with the stakeholders so everyone can see that how many bugs we have found. So this is the early testing technique and the way which where we can get the maximum defects from the code at the code level. So this is a good and fruitful you can say the way and the technique testing type which we can use to get the maximum bug before handed over that product to the QA. So in that integration we have to see now and test all the module individually, and then we integrate those module and check the user journey from login to the user management section. Maybe we can create the one user in our testing and we see that the how's application working, and then acceptance testing come. It's also has 2 to 3 level, like maybe the testers are doing the acceptance testing for you, then you can ask the peer review for the product team, and then maybe we can hire some expert people from the industry or the subject matter expert for that field to ask them to use our application. The classic example for the acceptance testing is that the company launched their beta version and asked people to use and the end user to use and give their feedback, and once they have done with the feedback in terms of fixes, in terms of enhancement, then they will launch the final version after the feedback incorporation. So that's how we can use these three different testing type in the functional testing, although we do have a lot of other testing type which we can use in the functional testing down the road. In coming session we will discuss those in detail, step by step, but for now we can at least understand that what is functional testing and how we can perform that in our project. So then come to the non-functional testing. In non-functional, normally we are considering those areas which is related to the behavior of the application in you can say the peak time period. So and try to eliminate the defects from application for such cases, and evaluate the factors such as performance, usability and reliability and scalability of the product. Maybe you have done good testing in the functional, but if you are lagging in the non-functional side, so maybe your project will not work and your product will not set a good footprint in the industry floor. Because let's suppose if you are done with the functional testing very good and decent way, but your application is not handling the massive load the users, so maybe then in that case also your product and your application is useless for the bigger volume of the people in the industry. So we need to keep all these things in mind when we are doing the functional testing. So some of the testing type from the non-functional side I have already listed down for you. So where we can see the performance testing, and where we can see the maximum response time of application to the in the load test in the load in the peak hours, and the security, as we have already discussed in the previous session about the authentication and the authorization. So in the security testing we do have also try to find out the vulnerability of the application in the code as well, to make sure that there is no loophole in our application. In the usability testing, normally we need to see the navigation aspect and the usability prospect from front UI point of view, and you can say the navigational point of view, and all other aspect which we need to consider, like in app. If we talk about the iOS, the Apple launched the HID document, the human interface document guideline for to control and streamline the usability testing and the usability aspect of the application. So we can use those standard and those compliance document which can enrich our usability testing for any of the application. So here I have sum up in the form of summary for you guys from different prospect and different aspect, that how we can do the functional and the non-functional testing better in our project, to make sure that the product which we are going to launch in the industry is buggy free and reliable to use. So let's suppose we can if we can see that the objective of the functional testing definitely to see the requirement according to the expected behavior of the user and the requirement. And in the non-functional, definitely we will see the performance and the scalability of the application. So in the type of test we can run in functional, we can run the unit, integration, system and acceptance, as we have discussed on the earlier slide as well. And in the non-functional side we have to perform the load, performance test, usability, security, scalability, portability. So all these type of testing we have to perform. So in terms of automation and functional for the non-functional, so we do have a lot of different tools to do and automate things to save and do work in an efficient way, as we have discussed in the earlier session, where we have discussed already discussed about the automation and the manual part of the testing and their benefits and their pros. So maybe you can watch that video for your clarification and understanding the pros and the cons of the automation and the manual. So although we do have different tools to perform the automation for the functional and the non-functional, here I have listed down very famous and the well-known tool for you guys. Although the sky is there's no limit on the sky for the tools, we do have a lot of other tools. These tools are basically open source, that's why mostly companies and testers are using these tools. So for today we have done with the functional and the non-functional testing aspects and their ground. So in the coming session we will explain these things in more detail. Till now, Thanks, and take care.